be a lot sometimes. It can be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, as you were saying, you're in the middle of Capricorn about
Yeah. I was just saying, but basically the reason why it's so cool to have that in your, if you happen to have Capricorn in Saturn, it's kind of like fine wine. It kind of ages and levels out the tones as you go along. So like whatever you had set, whatever you had set at that time, as you mature, like your goals and dreams. I love you guys. I really do.
we got we got an audience here, guys, entertaining us.
I do. My 2-year-old decided he was. Yeah, my number one fan is just enjoying himself.
Okay.
He's mad at me from yesterday. I only brought the girls with me, so he's been trying to like stay close.
I see. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's basically a really cool thing because as you mature, as you become more aware of what lessons you have learned, what steps you need to take next for the goals that you already have set in place. That's the cool thing about Capricorn, is that it kind of already balances itself out really quickly as you age and progress. You're more quick to listen, slow to move.
Right.
As you keep moving forward. So
it's like a perpetual wiseness that they just have inbuilt in them. And they're already associated with retirement anyway, as far as like where they're placed in the order chronologically towards the end. So they're that's why a lot of people associate them with being old or old-minded or old school or too disciplined.
Like old-souled.
Yeah, exactly.
That too. Yeah. Like they just know things.
Exactly. The only other sign that's very closely related to that I've heard of are Pisces. Pisces are they're just a little more flexible, but they're kind of wise and, you know what I mean? They, some people associate with overthinking, but they kind of like always try to look at life as being always optimistic on the other side and things like it's a wisdom thing. Elena Sanchez, hello. I think we missed you last week, but you're back now. Hello. Unless you watched the replay.
From Florida. I love it very much.
From Florida. Oh, yeah. You're in a warm state. I love all the emojis. Somebody's very, very happy.
Yes, she is. She's a very, very bubbly, amazing little ball of sunshine. She's really cool. You would love to meet her, I'm sure.
What's her sun sign? Does she sound Libra-ish?
What's her she has some Leo in her chart. I do know that.
Nice. So do I. I love it. Ab's got some Leo too. I have a couple Leo at least 3 of them. I have 3 Leo placements in my chart.
Yeah, same.
That's great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're pretty much on the same wavelength there. But we some type of way managed to get along, which a lot of people do think Leos like to dominate everything. We just dominate when we know we're right. That's all. When we know we're right, we need to take charge. That's when other than that, we can sit back and we could tell somebody can handle a task. We won't bulldoze you or whatever. But let's keep pushing forward, folks, here. Okay. Next, since Gabby was already looking at this, let's go to Saturn and Aries. Remember, we're still in the cardinal signs, folks. And Saturn and Aries, of course, Aries is a cardinal fire sign, which means they like to lead with fire head first because they have a ram symbol. So, but Saturn and Aries basically mean you will think twice before taking action. They will never act in haste, which is quite ironic to me. Doesn't that sound strange for Aries? They will think twice before they act, but with Aries and Saturn, there's some type of way happens. This is like the most oxymoronic thing I've ever heard about Aries because that does not describe Aries at all. But I found that interesting. What's that?
I said kind of, but like you have to remember where it is. It's a disciplinary.
That's true.
Decision. So it's gonna sound a little bit different, just because of what planet it's kind of pushing on. You know.
Right. That's true. Well, the first time I read it, I was like, "Oh my God, holy crap, really?" And some positive keywords associated with Aries and Saturn and Aries: authoritative, similar to Capricorn; assertive, disciplined, bold, rational, and thoughtful. Negative keywords: confrontational, brash, doubtful, and insecure, or whatever. And a couple celebrities, I skipped it with Capricorn, but Albert Einstein, Celine Dion, Tina Turner, Will Smith, and Michael Schumacher, or whatever. What say you, Gabs, about Saturn and Aries?
Well, Saturn and Aries, it usually does take a little bit of time for you to figure things out, how to use your energy properly, how much energy you want to draw when you need it, and to kind of figure out what energy is driving you towards what life you want to lead. Um, so it makes you more aware, assertive, confident, independent, and especially when you're getting older, it kind of pioneers the way you want to live when you get older. And but when you're younger, when you like start out life, you start to get a little bit of a reservedness and cautious, um, only because like you're wanting to make sure that the risk is worth the reward. um, but I have learned that a lot about Aries, and happens to be like a little bit of, they like to be able to take the risks. They are still bold in that sense, but they're learning how to do that like very strategically when they
Mhm.
happen to be in Saturn.
Interesting.
It's
That's
it's
that.
really
That's
interesting.
it. Sounds like a great placement to have. Honestly, I mean, it sounds
Yeah,
like
like
not a
you
bad
really
place.
want somebody who's gonna go in and take everything home, like, but at the
Mhm.
same time to be that meticulous, like a Capricorn almost, that it kind of just like throws the whole Aries thing out the window. Oh, they're actually really cool guys. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I want that in my life. Yeah, well,
I actually have
it's
a couple older people who are in business or managers at their job around me with those placements. Actually, I have three or four with that particular play, and I've learned a lot from them about being entrepreneurial and taking chances
yeah.
at the right time, not settling for things that don't benefit you, long term. And it that those that's something I've noticed from Saturn and Aries. They're very very beneficial in that particular way. And honestly, I find their negative key points. I haven't experienced too many of those directly with Aries because a lot of the times I feel like they put themselves in a position where they don't even come across that very often. Because a lot of times they're
Mhm.
the ones in charge, so they're in charge of if stuff get messed up, and they don't like particularly failing very often. So I haven't run into the negative sides of Saturn and Aries. The ones I tend to run into with the negative traits are generally Virgos. Virgos, sometimes Sagittarius Saturns are a bit what's the word? Dogmatic sometimes, Virgos, perfectionists, and maybe I'm trying to think of it. Those are the only two that sticks out right now. Sometimes Capricorn, just being stuck in a rut for a long time. A lot of my Saturn and Capricorn fans, I have to get out of a rut. But the other Saturn signs, I haven't noticed anything that's glaringly wrong with them in particular. But let's push forward to Cancer, Saturn and Cancer. This is a pretty good placement as well for a couple of different reasons, specifically in management and things that are domestic related, which everybody needs. Both of those things. You need a good manager, and you need somebody that you can always depend on to take care of the house. So this is a great placement. And I'm not just saying it because Saturn's. I'm sorry, because Cancer's my sun sign. I know a lot of good people with this placement. So Saturn and Cancer, people care for everyone around them without letting anyone know about their worries. It sounds pretty damn close. And a few celebrities with these particular placements: Napoleon the First, George W. Bush, Shakespeare, Donald Trump, and Sylvester Stallone. Don't kill us because we said Donald Trump, people, please. Some key components or keywords associated with Cancer Saturn: intuitive, neutering, caring, loving, and traditional. Some negative keywords associated: reserve, manipulative, insecure, obsessed, and compulsive. What say you, Gabby?
Well, nobody's gonna kill you for saying that. Technically, he's in history. So, like,
Yeah.
one of the things about that particular placement, and especially since we talked about somebody like famous, and I air quote that, um, so YouTube doesn't look at me funny. Um, but yeah, it's funny how this placement has to deal with needing that safe and comfortable environment for them to thrive, to do whatever they can to succeed. So like for that placement, they need a safe and comfortable home, but they also need a safe and comfortable family life to thrive. Um, so that's a lesson they have to learn. And then how to do that without